Welcome back to the In the Know podcast. My name is Kayla from Kiss FM, and today I am with Derek Tran.
Hi, Kayla.
Welcome to the Kiss FM studios.
Thank you so much.
It is so nice to meet you. We're so excited to get to know you and learn about you and what you believe in, so thank you for sitting with me.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so first we want to know about your district. So your District 45, what areas does that cover?
So it's a large area. It runs from North Fullerton, Placentia area, all the way down to Buena Park, Garden Grove, Westminster, Fountain Valley, and has some LA cities in there, Artesia, Cerritos. That's Hawaiian Gardens. That's my district.
Okay, is that where you grew up?
No, I met my wife grew up in the area, and when I met her, I had to move out there. So I've been out in that area for about 14 years now.
So you're pretty well versed with the area.
Yes.
Favorite place to eat?
Look, Vietnamese food. This is the largest Vietnamese community outside of Vietnam, resides in Little Saigon in my district.
Okay.
And the Vietnamese food there is amazing. So it depends on what you want. You want Vietnamese crepes, you want pho, you want beef noodle soup. Pho 79.
Okay.
It's some really good ratings. Yep.
So I gotta go out there.
You have to.
So tell me why your district is so special.
Look, I think that representation matters. This is a district that is home to the largest Vietnamese community outside of Vietnam, who's never had representation in Washington, D.C. In 49 years that they've been here, next year marks the 50-year anniversary since the fall of Saigon. They want and they need a voice in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. What do you love the most about the district?
You know, I love all the people out there and the diversity that's out there. You can go a few miles and you're in the Little Korea part, Koreatown of the district, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Little Saigon part of the district. And then you got the Arab community in the Anaheim area. So it's a great area to be part of.
Yeah. Okay, so one of your key issues is transparency with elections, limiting lobbyists' influence on elections, and you say you won't take money from special interest groups. Why is this so important for you?
Yeah, look, I think our political system has been flawed with all the amount of money that's coming in from special interests out there, whether it's big oil or the drug companies. It's something that's serious, right? And we want to make sure that when you elect a leader that represents your district and represents you, their values should be aligned with you. And they shouldn't be, it shouldn't be aligned with these corporate big pockets that provide money to their campaign.
Yeah. One of your biggest campaigns is stand up to China. So how is your stance different from your opponent?
Look, I think she talks a lot about standing up to China and communism, but if you look at her actions, she's complete contradiction, right? I'm here to make sure that we are aware of the threats, the real threats of China with our fellow allies in Southeast Asia, South Asia. But when it comes to her, she's taking not only money through her husband with Chinese diplomats. You know, this was reported on by the Wall Street Journal. But, you know, she's also awarding certificates to known communists that are from Vietnam, which is an issue.
On the topic of schools, we just had a school shooting, and it is one of the leading causes of death for kids in the U.S. What is your stance for tackling gun violence?
Look, I think this is one of the most common sense things that we can do as a society is combat gun violence through, you know, common sense gun reform laws. It's just we have to stand up to the NRA. I mean, you know, the problem is the right side of the party, they're too afraid of that organization and they're taking money from that organization. I have 3 young kids and they're public schooled. It hurts me to think that I can drop them off and might not see them that evening. So this is something that is fixable. We just got to have the cojones to stand up to the NRA.
Yeah. Speaking of schools, Proposition 2 is on our ballot in November. We want to raise $10 million in funds to help with, you know, school improvements to fix like the schools that are ran down. What is your stance on that?
I think anytime we can invest in our schools and our children, we need to do it. I know it's you know, everyone hates more taxes and stuff like that, but the investment in our children and the facilities where they attend is so important.
Yeah. Can you explain Proposition 2 for like in elementary terms for everyone?
Yeah, the best I can. Where you know you're gonna get taxed on whatever it is you're buying, and some of that money is gonna be funneled towards facilities improvement at a school place. Maybe they need a new library. Maybe they need a tech center. That's what's being done with LA Unified.
Okay, nice. So the Democrats want this seat. Biden won this district in 2020. What should voters in the 45th district, and why should they be confident in you?
Yeah, look, I think I'm a breath of fresh air in the sense that I'm not I've never ran for office before. This is my first time running. So I'm not a politician, right?
Okay.
I'm running because, my whole life has been dedicated to public service. I, enlisted in the military when I was 18 because I wanted to give back to the country that took in my refugee parents. And then when I became a lawyer, I dedicated my practice to representing employees that were discriminated and harassed at the workplace. And this is really a further extension of that service for me.
Yeah, you are also a lawyer, right?
Yes.
So you said Army vet, business owner.
Yes.
So how does this affect the way that you view policy?
Yeah, I think that experience that I have in all three of those aspects as a business owner, it's so hard for people to be able to start businesses, right? There's so many layers and barriers. We got to get rid of that so people can be entrepreneurs and make their own money. As a lawyer, I am very familiar with reading laws and legislation, and I think that's gonna help me when I get to Congress.
So what changes are you going to make first? What is your first goal as soon as you are elected?
Look, I think the people of my district has been yearning to be heard. No one's listening to them. I got about 14 cities in my district. I want to meet with all the local elected leaders there. I want to meet with the community member leaders there and find out from them what's their priorities, what's going on, and then take an account of all of that stuff so I can start working on fixing that for them.
Yeah, I think a common theme is that we are not able to get face-to-face time with our local congressmen. You guys are, not you guys, but you guys are not that accessible. And so sometimes people think oh, well, we reach out to them, we email, we don't hear from them. They don't even email us back, they don't respond. How are you gonna be more accessible than the others?
Yeah, so first off, my plan, my wife told me she's not leaving California. So when I win, I'm flying back every weekend. So I'm gonna be back in the district, right? I want to make sure that I have an open door policy at my office. So any of my constituents want to come in and talk to us, ask us for help, we want to be able to help them.
Okay, what about town halls and stuff?
Absolutely for it. Something about my opponent, she's never debated ever in her political career. She doesn't want to answer the people for the lackluster performance she's had these last 2 terms in Congress.
Well, let's get to know a little bit about you.
Okay.
Do you like music?
I do.
What kind?
I'm more of gosh, I'm an EDM guy.
Really?
Yeah, to be honest with you.
Okay, last concert you went to?
I don't go to that many concerts because I am so fearful of large crowds.
Really?
Yes.
Are you claustrophobic and stuff?
Yes, I am. But I'll share that my very first concert that I've been to was a Wango Tango iHeartRadio in Anaheim Stadium. Yeah.
No way.
Truth. And then
that turned you off, so you're no more.
No. And then I went to EDC for 1 day because I couldn't handle it. I was just oh my God, this is too crazy, too many people. So sold the bracelet and that's it.
Are you an introvert? Do you prefer to, be alone with a small group of people?
I like people in general,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with both. I just, when it's a mass amount of people around me, I get start panicking a little bit. So
I get claustrophobic too. And those concerts, they like to be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
Oh yeah.
So when you're at home on the weekends, what are you doing?
I got 3 young kids, so
Okay.
we're juggling our young family, 8, 6, and 2. My son plays soccer, so I love taking him to his practices or his games. And then I like spending time with my daughter. That's my middle child. Maybe my favorite, but I'm not saying that. So we try to do stuff together, either gardening or going to the park and just hanging out.
Okay, and then last question, why exactly should people vote for you? What makes you different, and what makes you stand out in your opinion?
Look, I think for me, it has to do with the fact that if you look at people in Congress, the House and the Senate, I'm 43 years old. I'm going to be half the average age of the folks that in Washington, D.C. We need serious representation of the younger generation. Now, I don't represent the 20s and the 30-year-old, but that's a serious problem in Washington. We need voices that represents our younger community.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Any last thing you want to say?
No, I appreciate this opportunity so much. If you have a chance to vote and check out my website, go to DerekTranForCongress.com. We're always looking for canvassers to help us out, volunteers. And I thank you so much. You live in my district. Please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.